If you ever tried every cream, peel, or laser for your melasma and it's not getting any better, in fact, maybe it's getting worse, in this video, we're going to show you why. We're going to break down the biggest melasma myths for women in their 40s and 50s and show you what actually works to calm your skin and reduce pigmentation without making it worse. We treated hundreds of women over the years, and melasma, one of the most common problems we see in women over 40. We'll cover what makes melasma flare up, the myths that are keeping you stuck, and a step-by-step approach to finally getting results that last. Hi, I'm Dr. Carter with Mind and Body Clinic, and we are skincare experts. The first thing you need to know is that melasma is not just a skin issue, it's really a systemic issue. But before I delve into that, to understand there are two types of melasma in general. One is epidermal and the other is dermal. Epidermal is in the higher layers of the skin that is generally easier to treat compared to dermal, which is deeper down. Common areas you'll see melasma include the cheeks, upper lip, and forehead. Oftentimes it's symmetric, so you'll see it kind of on both sides. And oftentimes there's a hormonal link. So if you have estrogen dominance, you may see more issues with pigmentation. If there's changes in your progesterone, even your cortisol level can affect your pigmentation. Topical creams can only go so far if hormones are driving it from within. I'm going to cover 3 of the most common mistakes women make in addressing their melasma. So the first one is being too aggressive. So if you are over exfoliating or using actives too soon, this can actually make it much worse. What happens is that your skin becomes sensitized, and this can trigger more inflammation, which is going to lead to more melanin. And you're especially at risk if you have a mature skin or dry skin. This will just make the inflammation easier to happen. The second mistake often made is jumping to lasers without a stabilization phase. So lasers like IPL or Fraxel can certainly address the pigment, and you actually will see fade initially. But what happens is we often will see rebound pigmentation in 3 to 6 months. And this happens because we really haven't addressed the inflammation, the hormones, and sun control. So the pigment can come back even darker. In fact, there are studies that show that melasma recurrence can be up to 70% after a laser procedure. So the third mistake we see is treating topically only and not addressing the internal triggers. So besides the hormones I just mentioned, the estrogen, the progesterone, and the cortisol, also your thyroid and insulin levels will play a role as well. They all contribute. So you can almost think of it as an iceberg, and what you see at the very tip is just the pigment, but we have all this stuff underlying. We have our stress, cortisol, all these hormones that are playing a role, and if we don't address them, we're not going to get the best long-term result. You can think of that like painting over water damage without addressing the leak. It's just going to come back. So a lot of providers, they're really just focused on the prescription like tretinoin or hydroquinone or lasers. You will get some short-term results often with that, but it doesn't address the underlying inflammation. It won't address any hormone dysregulation, and it doesn't address any lifestyle triggers like UV light, heat, or stress. These are all drivers for melasma as well. The issue is that the pigment is a symptom, it's not the root cause. So our approach is that when we look at someone with melasma, we are certainly going to do a functional screen. So do we need to look at these labs and hormones to address the real underlying issue? Is it certain? We're going to look at your lifestyles. What are ways that we can decrease exposure to UV light or heat or even manage stress? We create a long-term plan, not just a quick zap. What's a better approach to addressing melasma concerns? So step 1 is let's calm down the skin. Let's decrease that inflammation. We want to do something that's gentle, and we want to protect the barrier. This is really also going to help with the inflammation. Along with that, we can use anti-inflammatory topicals. So that might be niacinamide or licorice root, but there's a number of different topicals we can use, but I like those 2 in particular. Step 2 would be to address any internal triggers. So that would include screening for hormone imbalances, thyroid issues, and nutrition. We also may look at oral agents. Something like tranexamic acid will help block melanin production. So that could be part of the plan. It is a prescription. We want to make sure you're the right candidate for that when we choose that route. Step 3 would be brighten strategically. Ingredients like kojic acid, which we love in our clinic, would be great, but also you can use arbutin or cysteamine, a little pricey, but that works as well. You can use hydroquinone, but certainly that is something to use more short term, so up to 3 months, because it can cause other issues if we try to use it long term. Step 4 is protect relentlessly. We want to use a broad spectrum sunscreen, and ideally it has iron in it because that will also block against visible light, but certainly UV light is important. Applying it frequently every 2 to 4 hours, especially if you're outdoors. Along with protecting relentlessly is making sure we're wearing hats or protecting our skin from direct sunlight, avoiding heat, because that can certainly be a driver for melasma, and also that would even include infrared. So that's the 4 steps. Certainly do not skip 1 and 2 and go straight to 3. That is, the first 2 steps are vitally important if we want to have long-term results. Otherwise, it can come back worse. So if you're in Gilbert and you're overwhelmed by the conflicting melasma advice, check out the link below. Actually, even if you're not in Gilbert, check out the link below. We've created a free melasma treatment roadmap so you can understand what's driving your pigmentation and where to start. So that's where we'll leave it for now. If you want to learn more, check out one of these videos on skincare.